Ultra Ego EX here, Excelsior, and I am back. It's been a while. Thanks for those who are still subscribed to me, but I did a little traveling, then got a little bit under the weather, but I am back. And you've probably seen this video before, so I'm going to react to it. And just, once again, I want to reiterate that you black men, your choices, whether they be older or younger, are really, as far as the black women, are really getting worse and worse month by month by month. All right, so let's get into it.
It's Free Lil Durk. Why? Because he is responsible for quite possibly one of the biggest spiritual awakenings of my life. I'm not kidding. About a year ago today, almost roughly, Drake came to town and Lil Durk opened for him. And I remember Lil Durk came out and my mom was sitting right next to me and she leans over and she was like, "He looks like he smells good." And I was like, he does. Like, he really did. And literally the whole night I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I a Lil Durk fan? Like, I couldn't name you one Lil Durk song, honestly. Still to this day, I couldn't name one song.
What?
But he just looked so good. So I remember going home that night and I walked into my apartment and my boyfriend at the time was like, "Hey babe, how was the concert?" And I was like, "Oh, it was great." Like, in the back of my head, I was like, "Lil Durk, Lil Durk, Lil Durk."
Hey yo, what the?
But literally in the back of my head, I was like, I think our time is up. Like, between me and him, I think our time is up because I feel like I have seen the other side. Like, I've seen that it could be better for me, right? So I literally went to bed that night and I had a dream. I had a dream about Lil Durk. Not the dream that Martin Luther King had, right? But a dream nonetheless. And so I woke up the next morning and I was like, yeah, you need to pack your stuff. I think it's time to go.
Here I come.
I made this big spiel about how, like, yeah, I feel like we're two totally different people, which is true. Like, we really had our issues, like, to be real. But Lil Durk was the catalyst. Like, to this day, Lil Durk opened my eyes, point blank, period. So yeah, it's Free Lil Durk. Free my
boo. Free her boo. All right, so we're going to run this back and we're going to talk about this. And I'm going to sound very mean-spirited, even bitter. Now, the reason why I'm upset about this, even personally, is that personally I think she's a pretty woman, pretty black woman, right? My family, one side of them is from New Orleans and stuff like that. And from high school and college and stuff like that, I would get comments from like my mom or my dad or something like that. And they would say, "What about her? You're friends with her. Why don't you date her? She looks like a nice girl, right? She looks nice and conservative." You just heard what I heard, right? She had a fucking spiritual awakening that she is a filthy. Let's run through this.
It's Free Lil Durk. Why? Because he is responsible for quite possibly one of the biggest spiritual awakenings.
This dude, this thing right here gave her a spiritual awakening, right? This right here.
Awakenings of my life. I'm not kidding. About a year ago today, almost roughly, Drake came to town and Lil Durk opened for him. And I remember Lil Durk came out and my mom was sitting right next to me and she...
Oh, red flag. Red flag. Her mom was with her. Just her and her mom. Not like she wasn't with a group of girls. She wasn't with other friends and stuff like that. But she was with her mom. And it was her mom who brought that up. It looks like he would smell good. This thing right here. This nigga. Who probably smells like weed, alcohol, funk, and I don't know, feces maybe. Maybe he smells like a dude that probably doesn't wipe his pants probably, so he's probably got shit stains smells that you probably love.
over and she was like, he looks like he smells good.
Who? It looks like he smells good. Your mom, and then
And
what
I
do
was
you
like,
go?
he does. Like, he really did.
How do you know if you really did? Were you up on stage with him or something like that? And this is what pisses me off. Because black women will come out there, they have the voice of the white media and the Democrats. Yes, I brought it up that way. On their side, more so than any other woman, you know what I mean? Their voices travel far and wide more so than the black man and stuff like that. Because they've engaged with this system more so than the black man, right? So in doing so, they've got the loudest trumpet, if you will. But see, this is her making these choices. So whatever bad luck that comes her way for choosing men that looks like Lil Durk, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. In fact, I'm going to be glad whenever horrendous bad luck you have dealing with a lowlife and someone who how does this thing right here looks like he smells good, right?
And literally the whole night, I was like, "Oh my gosh! Like, am I a Lil Durk fan? Like, I could." And I was like,
"What's this?"
He does. Like, he really.
Look at her. She's just sniffing in, the funk, right? And what is it about black women? And this is the thing, right? And I've told my mother this. I've told my aunties when they saw me dating white girls and when they saw me dating Latina girls and stuff like that. How come you're not with a black woman? How come you're not with a black woman? How come you're not? Because of shit like this. A girl who looks like she's from a nice family. She looks pretty conservative and stuff like that. She gets with a nigga like this. Now, am I mad or something like that? Well, I'm mad when black women start blaming all black men for your choices. This is your choice, right? He can't help but to get who he can get, right? But don't be giving me excuses for when I go for a female like this. She does not want me. I'm not going to simp and chase her all around the fucking campus or all around the office or call her or text her or DM her or whatever. I'm not going to do all that shit. If she wants a low-life nigga like this inbred rapper or whatever the fuck he is, I don't even know what a Lil Durk is. I don't delinquent, whatever. If that's what she wants, let her have it and leave us the fuck alone, right? So, let us continue.
He really did. And literally the whole night, I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I a Lil Durk fan? Like, I couldn't name you one Lil Durk song, honestly. Still to this day, I couldn't name one song.
And there's another thing, too. She doesn't even like his music. She can't name one song a year ago, and she can't name one now. But for some reason, black women, and even ones, like I said, that looks conservative or a nice girl, how many times and I'm a corporate type. I've worked in offices. I'm in tech, right? You have corporate black women who will date guys like that instead of other corporate black guys because, you know what, they got their shit together and I don't know. It's something in the black woman's DNA where they just want to be a filthy. Most of them, not a lot, you know what I mean? Not all. I'm not going to say that, but most of them. And it's getting worse. The percentage to where there were good girls or the ones that are doing right is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And they're getting married and they're getting taken away really, really quick. So for those of you who really like black women and all of that, good luck, right? Because also too, there are guys who are looking for just waiting for you to mess that up, and they will snatch her up if she's a good woman. You know what I mean? And I've seen some, and there are some here on the internet. There are some here on the internet as well, right? But for us black men, the numbers are not in our favor.
What?
He just looks so good. So I remember going...
And he looks so good. She says this looks good. This with that. Let the inbreeding commence. Make more substandard human beings. Yeah, I fucking said it.
home that night, and I walked into my apartment, and my boyfriend at the time was like, "Hey babe, how was the concert?" And I was like, "Oh, it was great." Like, in the back of my head, I was like, "Lil Durk, Lil Durk, Lil Durk."
Hey,
Yeah.
oh, what the?
But literally,
Yeah. And then there she goes. She had her spiritual awakening. The wretchedness. She became a filthy just like that. You know? And she did this black man a favor, or man at the time, whoever he is, at the time, saved him. Because imagine if he would have married this woman and had children, and it turns out the children are him. They're a bunch of little fucking Durks from around the neighborhood that's been pal driving her, and they look like Gollum.
back of my head, I was like, I think our time is up.
Yeah.
Like, between me and him, I think our time is up, because I feel like I have seen the other side. Like,
I've seen the other side of whoredom and ghetto-ness and niggerdom, and I want to be a nigger so fucking bad. I want to be vile and vulgar. I love the funk and the dysfunction and all the other things that go along with black culture. I've been living in a blissful life. I want the uncouth. I want the degeneracy. I want the herpes and AIDS and the VD and the gonorrhea. I want all of it. I want the sores on my mouth and my vaginal area bleeding green and purple pus.
That it could be better for me, right?
Go
So
ahead.
I really went to bed that night, and I had a dream. I had a dream about Lil Durk. Not the dream that Martin Luther King had, right? But a dream.
Why would you even bring up
nonetheless.
Martin Luther King?
And so I woke up the next morning, and I was
something
like,
like
yeah,
that.
you need to pack your stuff. I think it's time to go.
Here I
I
come.
would
Made
tell
this
you to
big spiel,
fucking go.
Like, yeah, I feel like we're two totally different people, which is true. Like, we really had our issues, like, to be real.
Yeah. You're two different people. It sounds like he was a decent person, and you're a filthy. You're the type of woman that will drink his bathwater, full of venereal diseases and, I don't know, mites, ticks, and crabs and other bacteria in the water, and you would just gulp it down so generously because he looks like he doesn't even bathe.
But Lil Durk was the catalyst. Like, to this day, Lil Durk opened my eyes. Point blank, period. So, yeah, it's free Lil Durk. Free my boo.
And look at her, freed her boo. This is who she dreams about. This is what gets her. Not only did it open up her eyes, it opened up her legs for guys who look like that, right? So there you go, man. You black men. Whew. The reason why I said I'm mad, why I'm so, like, even like I said, is Little Durk better than me? Financially, yes, but I'm a better man than him, 1,000%. You know what I mean? That thing versus, like, what I do and what I... Come on. But you know what, black men? That's the women of the community, even the ones that claim to be okay, and then one day they get Little Durk. Who would it be next time? Would that be you the next time? I'm letting you know that you have options. I've dated white, I've dated Latina, and I've dated Asian. You know what I mean? And that's me back in my college days. You know, that's me way younger. And that woman right there became my wife. That's the one you see in my thumbnail and that sort of thing. And I could be myself. You know what I mean? And so some would say, okay, how come you're on here saying all of these mean things or whatever and stuff like that? Why don't you just be happy? You know, some people say that. I hear a lot of black women say that. How come if you're happy, okay, just don't talk about what. No, because you guys won't shut the fuck up. It is our turn to grab the mic and say something, especially us ethicans, especially us black men that are about something. I don't care about the thug ass niggas, the rappers. For the most part, I don't even care about the football players for the most part, or athletes. I shouldn't even say football players, but the athletes, because they simp really hard too. But for the ones that are about building something, here's some of your options. And I'm trying to convert. That you heard me. I'm trying to convert. I'm not going quietly. We've been quiet all of this time. Fuck that shit. Those days are over. So come over to this side. Date those white girls. Date those Latino girls. Date those Asian girls instead of Little Durk, Little Durk, Little Durk. You know what I mean? I bet you he smells good. And the mom too. God damn. And here's the last thing I'll say before I go. I've been married for 20 years. Almost 20 years, excuse me. And all the other black men that I know 7 other black men. And we're all married. You know what's the crazy part? None of us are married to black women. Weird. Very fucking weird. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe. More's on the way. Alter Ego. EX.